Welcome back, and today I have here a little mini discussion, something that would normally be a short. We have a new render from Kong Studio, and this is the Vegeta figure that was hinted at. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'll post some screenshots. My man Cyrus actually was talking to 5K Toys, and in the comment section they talked about a potential Vegeta figure being in works for Kong Studios. And we're finally seeing the fruits of that with this render right here with the head sculpt. And I have so much to say and a couple things to discuss. First thing first, I just want to say off top, to me, this is on par with what Tonsenarttoys is about to drop. I think the only difference is at this point and going forward as the head sculpts get better and better and more accurate to the anime/manga, it's just going to be a matter of whose art style do you prefer for certain characters. That's what it's going to come down to after a while, I think. And you know, as you can see, this uses a more angular art style for the hair. Tonsenarttoys used a more fluffy kind of art style for the hair. So there's that to keep in mind. And I think, like I said, it's all a matter of preference at this point. But before this figure was released, and I wish I kind of discussed this beforehand, I was wondering what Vegeta could they possibly have in the works. Now at the time when they first responded to those messages to my man Cyrus, I automatically assumed, since Super Saiyan 5 Goku, the first one, came out, I automatically assumed that it was going to be a Super Saiyan 5 Vegeta in the works. But as we can see here, that's not necessarily true. And to be honest, maybe it would be safe to not expect Super Saiyan 5 Vegeta until sometime next year at this point. What Vegeta do you guys think this could be? Now, I was talking with my friend Nate, my good man Nate, and he was like, it would be funny if it was Bad Man Vegeta. And I was like, huh? But then I looked at it and I was like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. You know, the shoulders, and it looked like you could potentially put a thin pink shirt on top of those shoulders, but that's kind of reaching at that point. There's no way to really tell for sure what version of Vegeta this will be. Now, Cyrus brought up a good point, and he said, remember, and I don't know how I even just skipped my mind, but remember, Kong Studios likes to use a mold as many times as they can. They like to get as many uses out of a mold as they can. So if they can release this figure, it's going to be in red, blue evolution, blue, what's the Super Saiyan blue controlled berserk? Any version of Vegeta that you could possibly think of. Who knows? They might even put Ultra Ego on this head mold. Now, I'm doubtful that they will, because they just released Ultra Ego, and I guess they could do it, but even that will require a slightly different sculpt, at least on the eyebrows, at the very least. Everything else, you know, Vegeta's hair doesn't change too much. It's just a matter of whose art style is drawing it at the time, or what artist is drawing it at the time, and that's how Vegeta's hair tends to differ. But I think some guesses that I have in the pot is that it's either going to be some variation of Dragon Ball Heroes Vegeta, or it's going to be some type of, I think it could potentially be Namek Saga Vegeta, because that's also a Vegeta that people want. But at this point, I know Kong likes to go balls to the wall when it comes to these different variations, and a Namek Saga Vegeta wouldn't really fit very well for different variations, because he didn't wear that outfit again. That outfit was a little different than the rest of the outfits. So they'll probably use a Vegeta where they can use different, you know, they can release different forms of him. They can release a Super Saiyan God form, Super Saiyan God Evolution form. So, that being said, also, another thing I wanted to discuss. This goes to show that, you know, something I've always been saying is that tamashii will not, they will not release figures they will not release the penultimate head sculpt for characters like Goku, Vegeta, and maybe even Gohan. Now, why do I say that? Because remember, there's always new variations to those characters. For example, I was talking to Cyrus the other day, and I was like, you know, we were talking about the Vegeta head sculpts, and he was like, you know, how Tonsen, he said, yo, I don't want to misquote you, bro, but I think in a nutshell, you said Tonsen blows Tamashii out of the water. And I was like, nah, I don't think that's necessarily true, because we can see that Tamashii can sculpt when they want to. When they really want to come up with a new sculpt and make it accurate to the show, they can. And my examples are Turles and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now, Cyrus is like, yo, I don't disagree with you. But first of all, look, this is now recently that they're getting to that level. And I wouldn't say that they're just getting to that level, and it's based on my own conspiracy theory with Tamashii. I think because they know that they'll always be able to make a new Goku figure, a new Vegeta figure. You could throw Gohan in there too, I guess. That they don't necessarily have to put out the best sculpt. For example, with Turles, as my man Cyrus said, Turles, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, they're not going to be putting out a bunch of versions of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And they're not going to be putting out a bunch of versions of Turles. So they have to be good off top. They have to be good. Which is why you notice the face quality of the sculpts is, you'll notice like, yo, this looks way more identical to the anime than a lot of the Goku figures. Now, I'm not saying that the Goku figures don't have good sculpts. Like the superhero base Goku figure does have some nice faceplates. I cannot lie about that. But you'll notice even with them, even amongst those faceplates, some of them look a little like, you know that it's Goku, but it's not quite what it looks like in an anime or manga, depending on whatever art or reference they plan to use. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Like people, like Tamashii can put out face plates, head sculpts on par with these, just as good, maybe even better if they really tried. But I don't think there is any real money. I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, for lack of a better term, there's not any real money in doing that, you know? If I give you the best face sculpt I can possibly make, how am I gonna sell you another Vegeta? Now, of course, you got different forms and everything, but also if I improve the faces while also giving you the new form that you don't have yet, I think it'll sell even better. That's just my conspiracy, though. I don't know. I'm not in a Tamashii headquarters to know that be true. Just my conspiracy. But with that being said, there's been Bombastic Plastic. Stay fantastic. Peace out.